Why does it feel like every influencer is writing a book?
It's happened so much, there's even a new term called a book talk author.
But it makes us wonder, does making book content actually qualify you to write a book?
Is being a reader enough to make you a writer?
So we found the most popular books written by influencers
To see if they could actually hold a candle to the books we already love.
First book we're starting with is The Ruins Beneath Us by Sasha E. Sloan, who is a book talker that started with the Noble House of Black Harry Potter TikTok series, and then she got really famous from that. And now she has written a fantasy book. She's a very big fan of Throne of Glass, all the SJM book, also Game of Thrones. And she makes a lot of like fangirl content. She also did a lot as Miss Utah. I have followed her for a long time. I've seen her working on this for the past couple years.
I know nothing about this girl.
Yeah, this was my pick. I am a fan. I really like her fangirl stuff. But at the end of the day, just because you have 2 million followers, does that mean you should be writing a romantasy? I don't know.
Well, we're gonna find out.
We'll find out.
We are halfway through with The Ruins Beneath Us. This book is about a human world and an elf girl. And elves are outlawed, bad, evil, they think. It is a kingdom in which elves are not allowed.
But elves still exist. The main character, Lyria, is an 18-year-old elven girl who is like a healer, and she has a talent, is what it's called in the book, but it just means magic. And she ends up saving one of the crowned human princes, and then is tasked by the royal family to come to the castle and develop a cure for the plague that's broken out. But nobody knows she is an elf. Nonetheless, one with a talent. Honestly, I'm so impressed with the writing. The world building makes a lot of sense, which is normally like the biggest obstacle for like a debut fantasy author, is that the world building gets crazy. This is like very easy to follow, but it still feels unique.
To me, it's giving major divine rivals energy. The magic world is super, super interesting. While I don't think it'll end up being like my favorite romantasy book that I've ever read, I am really enjoying it, which says a lot, especially as a debut romantasy. There's already been a few plot twists, and I'm really excited to see what other plot twists happen.
Yeah, I think the second half is about to go off the rails.
We'll check in when we're done. We finished The Ruins Beneath Us, and we have thoughts. I'm gonna go first because I had steam coming out of my ears for the last 100 pages of this damn book.
Yeah, she was like really raging out in the car.
Lyria is the dumbest FMC I have ever read about. She's a brain dead moron, unfortunately. She did, in her defense, live life pretty much in isolation, so there are some things that I can excuse, but for the most part, her actions were really pissing me off.
Okay, there are definitely things Lyria did that I was like, girl. But you have to remember, this girl is 18. Like you said, isolated her entire life, basically. And there's fuckboys left and right. And genuinely, even though she definitely made some decisions that I was like, hey girl, what the hell? I was so invested in these characters and the magic world.
For a debut novel, I really think Sasha Sloan hit the ball out of the park. I just think that me and Lyria would have beef. Even at 18, I was stupid, but I don't remember being that stupid.
I liked her.
I did like her. I just wanted to slap her across the face. We both had a really good time. Overall, I would rate it, I think, 3.5 stars.
I'm actually gonna go a little bit higher, 4 stars. Now for the next one. Next book. Just Friends by Haley Pham.
We had to.
We had to do it. Everybody knows who Haley Pham is in the book community. This is her debut novel as well, little summer rom-com, and it's called Just Friends, so we know it is a friends to lovers. So let's get into it.
Okay guys, we finished Just Friends by Haley Pham, and to be completely transparent, I don't necessarily think that this was the book for us.
I just want to preface that we knew going into this was a second chance friends to lovers contemporary romance, which one, contemporary romance is not our go-to genre. Friends to lovers and second chances are probably some of our least favorite tropes. Because of that, I knew that it probably wasn't going to be the most engaging story for me personally. I had trouble with like the pace of it. It felt kind of slow, and I struggled a lot with the lack of stakes that I felt. It did have a lot of like fun summery vibes. The little town, Seabrook, is very cute, but I did have a hard time staying engaged.
I'm in the same boat, actually. I find friends to lovers majority of the time to be way too predictable for me. With this story specifically, I think it lacked a little bit of depth that I was really hoping that there would be. It felt like I was just reading Haley and her husband's love story. It almost felt like a diary entry rather than a romance novel to me. Another thing is that I think it's hard to give a character accurate development if you are writing the character as yourself. So I am hoping that in future novels that Haley writes, she ventures out and creates characters that are not inspired by her. I would love to see what she does with a completely different character. I think I'm gonna rate it 2.5 stars.
I'm also gonna rate it 2.5 stars. It just wasn't the book for me, but I do think this is a very good gateway book for young readers who want to get into romance novels. I think this would be perfect. I just prefer things a little bit older, which, duh.
I agree. I feel like we do have to say, even when we don't really love a book by a woman, it is always going to be exponentially better than books by men.
Take all of that with a grain of salt. This is definitely a book for some people. It's just not a book for us.
Not for us. Okay, I think that's all of our thoughts.
Yeah, let's
on to the third book. So the next book that we're going to read is called A Liar's Twisted Tongue by Caroline Cusinelli. I've seen this book all over TikTok. I've seen people compare it to Powerless, which we loved.
Correct me if I'm wrong, this author is the oddball out in that she is self-published.
Yes.
The first 2 books we read were published by publishing companies.
She is an indie author, so I think that's really fun and cool and sweet and awesome. I haven't read the back. I really truly don't even know what this book is really about, to be honest.
The first thing it says is, her power will kill her if he doesn't first.
Let's start reading.
What wound?
Is this before or after the girl went through the portal? Gotta be after, because she's not there.
We're gonna keep listening to this audiobook and make matcha.
Who is I then?
I can't do this. Sorry. Can't do it.
We have a check-in/update for A Liar's Twisted Tongue. Before we started reading this, I wish I would have seen that the author had compared this to a combination of The Cruel Prince and The Poppy War. Both of us hate The Cruel Prince, and it is very much like The Cruel Prince. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of jumping back and forth. There's approximately 7,000 characters. I don't really understand the plot, and I'm not having the best time.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Yuck. Sorry, there's a cat throwing up back there. What can you do? I feel like a lot of the characters had a bunch of different aspects, but none of the characters make me want to root for them. With this main girl, Desdemona, this was trying to be complex female character, but we don't have the plot or the storyline to give her a character arc. It was just too complicated. I felt like at 128 pages in, we should have had some more plot.
So if you can't tell by now, we are DNFing this book.
But we didn't want to leave on a low note, so we found another one, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. We're going to be reading
A Forbidden Fate by Caven Herning. If you are an ACOTAR girl, chances are you probably know who Caven is. Yeah. She does a lot of
ACOTAR skits. We are really excited to read it, so we're gonna read. And yay for Kindle Unlimited.
So we're halfway through with The Forbidden Fate by Kevin Herning. And this book goes crazy. This book is so good.
The setup is so good, and I would say pretty unique. It's about a princess who's caught between 3 kingdoms. She's betrothed to one of the princes, and on her way through this forbidden, scary, magical, haunted wood, she gets kidnapped by the prince of the other kingdom, who was also her betrothed from 10 years ago.
But here's the catch. They're cursed. They were cursed by the gods 10 years ago, so they can't touch. If they touch, they die.
It has literally everything we love. It's got forced proximity, enemies to lovers, insane banter, the tension. We're halfway through. The tension's going crazy off the rails. There's also a villain in the mix, and they think they know who it is, but we have our own theories. I'm not so sure they're right.
We are having so much fun. We saw a few negative reviews that said it was giving Wattpad, but clearly we eat that up because that's also what some people said about Boys of Tommen, and we haven't even finished the series, and I'm so confident that that is going to be one of our favorite series ever. Wattpad writing is a big waving green flag to me.
I would never guess that this was her debut novel. Like, it feels so good, it flows so well, and the tension is...
So I guess we're gonna finish it.
We're gonna finish it.
We're gonna finish it probably
Right now.
That was so good. That was so good, you guys. I was not expecting it to be that good.
Honestly, same. And I know everybody says the romantasy is like, oh, copy and paste, la la la. I actually feel like this one was so good while still having all of the elements that everybody likes in romantasy. It does end on a cliffhanger because this is a trilogy, but it's not the kind of cliffhanger that makes you want to drive into a brick wall. It's more like the cliffhanger that's like, oh, I'm picking up the next book immediately. Top of the TBR stack.
There were a few loose ends, but I do feel like they are going to be tied up in the next 2 books. I really honestly don't have any big critiques on the book. I had a really fun time reading it. Plus, Kevin is a fellow Texan, so ye fucking haw. Am I right, ladies? Love her book. Everything that Cari said, I agree with. I would rate this book 4 stars.
I'm actually gonna rate it 4.5. Kevin, girl's girl. You know what you're doing.
I think our final verdict on should influencers be authors? Maybe.
Do you, baby?
Here's my thoughts. When it works, it works.
If you're wanting to write a book, make sure there's a storyline to be written. Honestly, I feel like the hardest part for me is when I read a book and I truly am just like, either what's the point or what the hell is happening. I think you can really tell when an author had it planned out versus when it feels like maybe not so much. I do think book talk as a whole, even though it can feel really oversaturated with like book talk authors, it's without a doubt given so many women a foot in the door to already a male-dominated industry, and I think that is really something to support.
If you have thoughts on book talk authors, let us know. Peace and love, gang.
Love.
1, 2, 3. Action. Wait. Damn. Sorry, Rachel.
You got your line?
Nope. So much.
These bloopers should go at the end. The way it panned us. You look like fucking Crush the Sea Turtle.
What is happening here?
Die.
Yeah, you look like a theater kid.
Double ass.
Double ass into this video. So if you've made it to the end, comment 2 peaches.